SPY up on my screen?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So, I mean, there's a lot of strong action out there. Friday we saw the market safe with Apple. It was kind of an extended day to the upside, which tells me to be more hands off today, chill more today. Things look so great today because we extended to the upside on Friday. What happens a lot of Fridays in the market of the past year is they become trend days, meaning it pushes the envelope to the upside as well as the downside, and it kind of closes in that direction. Meaning, like we were pumping higher Friday, that gave me the conviction that we would pump higher all Friday because that's what Fridays generally are. And then we give some of that move back the following Monday. At least that's a pattern I've come across. So today's going to be a lot of things on the radar, but probably not very very active. I'd rather be more active a little later in the week. But tons of good charts out there. Um, I'll buy this one today. It's FTAI. I made this one trade of the week. Very tight consolidation. Very strong name. Very very momentum mover. Giving us a great support buy here below 28. I think that was set up really well. My other favorite chart this week is this LRCX. The problem is, Friday. Friday was a great day to buy that. It's a great day to already be in. I don't want to buy it as badly, but if it triggers, I'll be involved. See, huge macro base, months and months of consolidation. Looks really, really good. Let me check my list here. Hold up. I think you got to keep AMD on the radar. I don't think we want to buy it today because it made such huge moves Thursday, Friday. But you look at this explosive move off support with this huge volume. That's a name to me that wants to go higher. So I definitely want to be involved in that one if it goes. I'd really love a few days of consolidation though. Another one setting up this PG, nice earnings flag, very simple trade. You buy through 157, buy these highs. Very simple there. A chart we have kind of missed is the CP, Canadian Pacific. Look at this monthly chart. Holy moly, what a flag. So unbelievable flag on the monthly, unbelievable flag on the weekly. So obviously the daily is looking pretty good. That one triggers through 82. Again, like a lot of these names, it had a pretty big day Friday, so I prefer it consolidate a little bit before it goes after the level. But got to keep an eye on it regardless. Here's a trade I might buy today if we see some relative strength. It looks like we're gapping up, so it could be that trade. We've just seen this trade in retail this year, and it's a great low risk, high reward setup. All these names they hold the support level. They have this controlled pullback into the support level. This is Dix DKS. So now if it pops this 142, 143 area, that's where we want to get the tight buy. It reminds me of I did trade of the week on Crocs a few weeks ago. It was when was it? It was controlled pullback. Oh, it was this day right here. Just a controlled pullback to support within the uptrend. And then you see the blast off that happens when those buyers step back. So, controlled pullback to the support level. Now buyers come blast off from there. We're gonna keep this Google on the radar. I think the setup's gonna fail personally. I think too many eyes are on it. I don't think it has the relative strength to go. Gapping down today. I wouldn't be surprised to get stopped out of this one today. Let's see. Costco still on the radar. Still need more time to set up. What else? The XX, that's not for today. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, another one for today. Last one for today is this ESAB. Really nice chart, really nice macro chart, flagging nicely. Watching it over this pivot right here, 6105 to 6110. We'll look at that one. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And then this dash, dash 265. But just a few charts out of me. Ha, 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 ha. That's all I got. So yeah, the main takeaway for me today is like don't go crazy off the open today. Let things set up, let things show you their hand, and then kind of make moves. So that's personally the plan for myself.
All right, Chico, we'll let you go. I know you gotta set some alerts for the open and
What'd you say?
So I know you gotta set some alerts if you want to dip out.
Yeah, alerts meaning make some espresso. Peace.
right, guys, let me share my screen really quick over a couple more things and get you guys ready for the open. All right, so a couple sectors again. Shay kind of talked about the SPY. Again, year-long anniversary has officially occurred for the base we've been in. We eventually will see that 420 breakout in time. Again, we continue to see these higher pivot lows since the lows of October. So all good signs that we continue to see higher pivot lows and kind of a buyer stepping up. For now, we're in this 5% range, this little flag where we just don't want to be too eager chasing the top end of this range when being able last week did not look as good as it closed on Friday. A couple sectors again, consumer discretionaries, names like Amazon, think of those types of stocks setting up very nice. This sector, nice little flag here, still plenty of room to move to the upside. Same thing with REITs, we can see this very clear flag down here through this 84. So there's some REIT names. I'll post some of these watch lists after this call. You can look through for some relative strength. And even telecom. Telecom was the worst performing sector of last year. We saw this with energy being the worst performing sector in 2020, which then became the best performing sector of 2021 and 2022. Telecom is a little more boring of a sector than energy, so I don't expect to have that much fireworks, but from a percentage standpoint of where telecom is basing, it's a 50% move back to its prior all-time high. So, sector-wise, I think the year going ahead, once this can clear through 100, it's probably one of the better performing sectors percentage-wise, just given where it's set up on its chart compared to, say, tech that is, in the middle end of its range, where telecom is still basing out in the lower end of its relative range. So weaker sectors, again, we kind of want to avoid the financials for now. It just still seems it's too much volatility with the regional banks, as a lot of them are going to get really beaten up. So it just seems best to avoid. It does seem like this major support more likely probably to break to the downside before we're going to see any real move higher. So I think just avoiding financials seems to be easier than trying to battle with that. Again, energy still in this massive wedge. Just continues to seem like enough weight unless it's very specific names, like the chart shape was posted before. I think looked great, but the sector itself just within this wide wedge, as we saw in Costco, great chart. Just when it's in this wedge, it just it can kind of chop you up if you get in too early before the sector or name is really ready to go. A couple swings I have on. I have this Tesla go on from last week. Got me a little bit today, so we'll see if that can kind of continue. Again, the short-term move of this was, for this gap fill area, this like 175 area. It's kind of gapping up to that already today, so we'll see if it can, kind of push through that. Of course, the bigger goal will be a move closer to 200, but just taking this kind of day by day, not trying to, reinvent the wheel here. And then just in this TITN, earnings are until end of May, so we have a little bit of time here. We're looking for that same thing, break through this little support buyback through this little earnings flag, into this little gap fill area. So those are some swings I have on. Me and Chip, we're talking about this CRM. I think it looks great, but like Chip was mentioning before, this is going to go today. This is going to be a pass. Not going to chase this third day up, but if they can run into 200 and still kind of flag out here and put in a higher pivot low, where we can buy, say, 200 versus 290, 195, looks like it would be a much better entry than chasing through 200 if it was to go today. DHI is another one. Again, still needs more time for this earnings flags to develop, but through this 110 at time definitely looks good. Just too soon. It needs a few more weeks to consolidate here and show us that the buyers are really at this 105, 106 area. And then for some member ideas, Alex was talking about this MDZ. I'm sorry, Mondelez MDLZ through 78, but same thing like that DHI. It's just going to need more time to form out this earnings flags than expecting it just to go after the run up it's been on. The others looking at Yum. I'm not really seeing this set up here. It's probably gonna have to come back and retest this 132 breakout before there's any kind of sneaky buyback or next trade in it where the new range forms between 140 and 130. So probably in a void for now. There's not much going on with that. This ROST 108 seems to be the level here. You got earnings in about a week or so. Probably hold off the earnings on that one. Let's see. earnings tomorrow with this is past earnings. NTES looks like it's setting up through this 90 level. Looks pretty good here. Fed risk versus 87, so $2 risk. Probably gonna move back up to 95 in the short term. Just a little gappy of a name. Amazon's still setting up again. I think Abby mentioned this one. I think in time this looks phenomenal. Definitely has plenty of room to work its way back up to this prior all-time highs. We had this nice base forming for quite a bit, and earnings are out of the way. A lot of good things in its favor. It's just finding the right entry, whether it's through 106, whether it's through this 110. It seems like for now you got to really give it versus 100. Seems to be kind of the pivot for now. And lastly is ARE. About REIT names. The only thing you definitely want to be aware that this is kind of bear flagging, near lows. This would be definitely not a REIT name I would really be gravitating towards. You almost kind of want to short this stuff to lows. So this would be a pass. This is not really a wedge that I'd be looking to buy, just given it's a massive bear flag. So, any other names you guys want to go over now? Post them in the chat or unmute yourself so we can have to go over them. So we got this AME. AME 147. This looks really good. Let's see. Good earnings. Very defined level. You might need a little bit more time just to consolidate and kind of flag out within this, 8-10 point range. But this looks really good. Good eye on that one. Anything else? Anything else you guys want to go over? All right, guys. Well, thank you guys for stopping in, and we'll see you guys in the app chat.